Hey guys, and welcome to The Edge podcast brought to you by Lockin, where we have tough conversations with traders that have seen it all and made it to the top. Guys, today my guest is FX Vlad. When I saw his video on the timeline, I was like, I have to instantly interview the guy because he was sharing, actually a cool story how he got scammed by influencers and how this industry actually works. Vlad, first of all, welcome on the show. And second of all, just, tell people who you are. How did you get into trading?
Sure. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm Vlad. I got over 160K in payouts from prop firms. I've placed second in last year's third quarter forex cup, Robbins Cup, as most of the people know it. And I'm currently second place in the global cup as well, which is once per year. It's gonna end in 11 days now. I've started trading during COVID. I was back in high school then, but they put us all in lockdown, and we had to be doing remote classes, and that was boring. So I saw some TikTok videos about options trading. I
Okay.
didn't go into that. I went with stocks trading because options were a bit too complicated. But basically, that was the start. I jumped around stocks, forex, crypto. But when I discovered prop firms, I fell in love.
And why prop firms? Why did you choose prop firms?
The amount of money you can make compared to how much you have to put in is insane. Of course, I lost a lot, but once it started getting real, once you start making money from prop firms, it's insane how much you can make compared to how much you have to put in. It gives back a return on the investment that's
Hey, real quick, if you trade crypto or forex and you keep running into the same set of mistakes, like taking profits too early, moving stop losses all the time, chasing the pump at 3 a.m., I know exactly what you're doing because I've been in the same place, and that's why we built Lockin. Analyze thousands of accounts, over 400 data points per trade, 11 emotional states, every single thing that destroy traders. It's like whoop, bad for traders. Now, if you want to get access to top 7 mistakes that destroy over 90% of accounts, go to lockin.trade and leave your email. That will also put you on a priority access for the Lockin app. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
much, much higher than any other, safe way of investing, which prop trading isn't safe at all. But if you pick the good ones, then you should be good.
Right. And how many accounts did you have to, blow up in order to finally get to those that you started trading with actually?
Oh, well, I don't know a number of accounts, but it was 2 or 3 years of constantly losing with
Wow.
props. My first account actually resulted in a payout. It was back with my forex funds, but that was pure luck. After that, I blew all the payout and more. But after some time, I took it from the beginning, basically. I started back with a 5K account, the smallest that Funny Pips had to offer. And I think I got a bunch of payouts from that. I scaled it twice, and that's when it started scaling. So I had to lose it all and then take it back from the beginning, starting small. But I'd say over 50 blown challenges before
Wow.
actually getting consistent.
Crazy. And what clicked for you? Like, when was the moment and what was that thing when you finally realized now I'm profitable?
Well, it was when I started not blowing every challenge that I purchase and not losing every single funded account that I passed. But that overall that came from starting small again. Previous to that, I was putting all the money I had. I was in university. I was putting all the money I had into
Mhm.
the biggest challenge that I could get. So if I had
Okay.
enough money for a 25K, I was getting a 25K. If I had enough for a 50K, I was getting a 50K. But the emotional attachment to that challenge
Mm.
was huge because that was all the money that I had.
I
So
see.
when I took it from the beginning again with 5K accounts, I didn't actually care so much about it because it was $35 or something like that. And detaching emotionally from the challenge helped a lot, not over gambling, not doing random trades, because it's $30. You might as well take it serious, see if you can get any money from that. And that's where it all clicked. Starting small again, not going all in, It started making more sense. I took it more serious, and it was like a snowball after that.
Interesting. And did you? So I assume you probably found your system finally after becoming profitable, because probably before, like, you were trading, as you said, mostly random. A trade here and there. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But when you started small, you had a system. So how does your system work? Like, do you trade only a specific asset? You trade only a specific session? Um, and how did you also discover your system? Because like a lot of traders we speak with, um, or let's put it this way, everyone says, oh, we have to find your system, but how do you actually do it?
Well, the system, most of the people are trying to find their system online. They're trying to copy other systems. They're trying to look at
Right.
ICT, which I did. I learned ICT. I spent hundreds of hours learning ICT, and I lost a lot during that time.
Hmm.
And then I said, this isn't working out. So my system was discovered by simply going on the chart, doing what I know from what I've seen on YouTube on free streams. I was watching, I think, Donvo. He scammed after that, but he was doing live streams trading gold, and that's what
Hmm.
got me into gold as well. So it was just watching, trying to redo the same thing, but adjusting to, what works for me. He was mainly trading New York session. Because I'm in Romania. London session is pretty close to when I start trading. So I'm trading London, and I had to adjust to trading that. So you can't copy one-to-one to what other people are doing, to what their system look like, but you can take what you learn from them, and adjust a few things for the system to match your personality. So for me, it's mostly gold, but I also trade other volatile assets when they're volatile. I sometimes touch USD JPY or GBP JPY, but not too often. When silver was going crazy, I started trading silver. So I'm looking for price action that's similar to gold, and most of the times it's just gold. But there is this time. There was this time where silver was much more volatile than gold, and they move similar. So I migrated to silver back then. But now I'm back to gold.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as a trader, you look for volatility. So you just try to find volatility on any of the assets that's out there. Okay, so you found your system, but I also want to touch on something that you just mentioned, which is, this guy that just scammed, and that was actually one of your recent videos when you were like, hey guys, this is how the industry actually works. And when we spoke before the podcast, you mentioned that you had a story with some prop firms, with some influencers. What do you think is the dark side of this industry that an average user or maybe a new person entering the industry does not see?
Oh, that I was waiting for this question. Signals. I'm a huge hater of signals, and
Okay.
the guys that tell you to register with my broker, and I'm gonna give you signals, and you're gonna make however much money. I was actually involved in a scheme like this. I wasn't running the operation, but somebody asked me to give them signals, and they were making tens of thousands of dollars per month, not from trading, but from
Right.
commissions. Because how this scheme works is they're not getting paid from trading good or from doing anything related to trading. They're getting paid by the flow they're giving the broker. And
Right.
so they have an incentive to give as many signals as possible so people trade as much as possible, and they get much more money because they get paid by lot or by volume. So
Yeah.
that's the darkest part of this industry, I would consider. Then it's guys like Donvo. They were doing
Okay.
really good with streaming, but then they did that account where everybody put their money in, and he blew it all in one day. He had a deal
Oh,
with the broker, but it isn't known if he got paid to blow the account or not. If it's volume based, then most likely he made a bunch of money from that. Otherwise, nobody knows. But he was doing good until one day he decided to blow it all up. And a bunch of people lost a bunch of money because,
uh-huh.
people trust him. He had online live streams every day trading gold. He gained trust. People put 5K in, 10K in, whatever. Then overnight, no money is left. Um, That's also something that, once you gain trust, you can do, but it's really unethical. It's a portion of money you can make now, but your reputation is gone forever, which we can both agree that it sucks for somebody to take a call now, ruin everyone's savings or however much they put in the account, and get 100K now or however much they get paid. So that's the unethical part of this industry. People that want to get paid big now without caring that others are gonna lose for them to win.
Yeah, I mean it's a very short-sighted mindset, because if you do it like your career is done, then doesn't matter what you do in the future. People are always gonna take that. But yeah, what was your story with the prop firms? Because you told me that after you started winning, your payouts were getting blocked, and I heard so many stories. I had stories that prop firms don't really do it and they are legit, and I heard also unlegit stories. So, what was your story with the prop firm?
Well, there are a bunch of them that are scamming. I'm trying to stick with the top prop firms in the industry.
Okay.
So let's look at the ones that are scamming first.
Mm-hmm.
There was one some time back when I was still not making money that they were an HFT prop firm. Of course, now I know all of those are scams. They
Mm-hmm.
gifted me a 500K challenge because I
Okay.
did an Instagram thing for them, and it was like a giveaway, but you had to do a video about them. I won
Mm-hmm.
that, passed that, and then they had a crazy IP rule. So if during 30 days your IP changes, they deny your payout. But your ISP might be having dynamic IPs. So your
Yeah,
router,
exactly.
if it goes online, you put it back, in the outlet, the IP changes. So I had to verify before each trade that my IP stayed the same as yesterday. I
That's
did all of
crazy.
that. Yeah, it is. I did all of that, respected all the rules. I requested a payout. After 2 weeks, they denied it. They invited me to an interview. The social media guy invited me for an interview, but they denied my payout afterward, which is, it makes no sense, but that happens. In the meanwhile, that firm doesn't exist anymore. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they went down and nobody is going to get scammed again. That was one of them. I didn't have any money back then. I was hoping for that money to, change my life and I'm finally
Yeah.
profitable. That didn't happen. That got denied, and that was the story with them. It wasn't a mainstream firm, but it was a giveaway account, so I thought, why not? Then it's the next one on the list is Finitive. Finitive Funding, they're still out there. They're still listed on Prop4 Match. I had a few accounts with them last year when I was in Serbia, so maybe third month of last year, second month of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I told them specifically, my ID is Romanian, I live in Serbia. I sent them proof, I passed KYC, I passed a few challenges. They invited me to a compliance interview. They asked me a few things in that compliance interview. I passed it without any issue, right? They enabled my accounts. I started trading with them, and I started getting small payouts, $800, 1K, 2K. They had weekly payouts, which was great at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After some time, I think I had only one funded account enabled that I got paid 7, 8 times from it. I don't remember, but it was multiple payouts that they approved. They manually approved. And in 1 week, I had a very good run. I made, I don't know how much it was, 10K, something like that. I requested a
Okay.
payout, and they don't lock your account, so you can keep trading. The payout was
All right.
pending. Yeah, the payout was pending, and I kept trading the next week. I made a few grand more. The total, I think
Mm-hmm.
it was about 16K, 15 point something, 16K.
Okay.
Uh, but then they started saying, "Oh, we had an issue with the risk team. Somebody got sick or whatever. They left. They hired somebody new, and guess what? They denied my payout, saying that the main reason was that I over leveraged in the challenge phase. So after they approved multiple payouts from that account, they denied the big payouts, the two big payouts that were pending at the same time. They
Yeah.
denied them because supposedly I over leveraged in the challenge phase. And I think it was 4 lots on a 200K account on gold, which
Mm-hmm.
is not over leveraging at all.
Yeah.
But that's what they said. And I was pretty mad about that. I made a few posts about it. I deleted them now. They don't um, fully represent me. I was a little bit mad about the situation. I'm
Yeah.
still gonna say that they are absolute scammers because they've done that. Um, but it is what it is. I tagged the CEO of the firm. I told them, if I'm a gambler and whatever you say, I'm gonna win Robbins Cup, and then you should pay me, right? If I don't, I'm losing 5K because you have to put down 5K to join. If I don't win it, I'm gonna lose 5K. If I win it, if I make it to the top, then give me my payout. Um, I'm pretty sure he saw those because I'm blocked, but they didn't. They to this date they didn't pay me. However, I am still in the leaderboard and I have won previous year third quarter. So they are absolute scammers, but they're not scamming you when you're at the small payouts level. If you request 1K, it's not worth for their image to
Yeah.
pull the plug on you and scam you. If you request 16K from a single account, from you spend 3K on challenges, you take out 10 and then you request 16 more, then it seems like that's when Oliver, their CEO, starts thinking it's a problem. Because maybe Finitive doesn't afford to pay 16K to a trader.
Yeah.
But
Would you
that's
say like what do you, because I'm curious, like what you did on social media, you put a post about them and you say, hey guys, this prop firm, it's not legit. Does it even work? Like, do they reply to that, or they just, completely ignore, there's no contact from the team? And also how people react, like let's say people on TikTok, people on Instagram, do they care? Do they also like leave their reviews? Does the prop firm delete the reviews and comments? What have you seen?
well, I got some support from traders and prop review X pages,
Okay.
but there was nothing more besides that. The company definitely saw it. They blocked me on all their accounts, the broker account, the prop account, the CEO account. So
Mm-hmm.
they blocked me on everything. They didn't reply. Funny fact, they posted about me, congratulating me on my achievements previous to that. But
Crazy.
after
That's
that,
crazy.
yep, after that they deleted everything and blocked me. There is support if you post and you have a solid story behind it, but you need
Okay.
known names in the industry to retweet you, repost you, because if you have a brand new account and you post something negative, I think it's unlikely for the algorithm to push you out there. I'm not a social media guy. I don't know anything about how the algorithm works, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the most efficient way. Given I didn't have any popularity or I don't have social media presence at all,
Yeah.
they're not incentivized to pay me out and make the story disappear because they know I'm not gonna get anywhere with my post. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure, however, if that post got to 100K views and everyone in the industry would be talking about it, I'm pretty sure they would pay. But because they saw that I'm not gaining any traction with the post, maybe
Yeah.
they thought, well, it's not gonna hurt at all. They're still listed on Prop for Match, so seems like the business is still going. Meanwhile, they're still scammers.
Hey, real quick, if you trade crypto or forex and you keep running into the same set of mistakes, like taking profits too early, moving stop losses all the time, chasing the pump at 3 a.m., I know exactly what you're doing because I've been in the same place, and that's why we built Lock-in. Analyze thousands of accounts, over 400 data points per trade, 11 emotional states, every single thing that destroy traders. It's like whoop, bad for traders. Now, if you want to get access to top 7 mistakes that destroy over 90% of accounts, go to lockin.trade and leave your email. That will also put you on a priority access for the Lock-in app. Now, let's get back to the podcast. Speaking about that, like, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people had similar situations to you. And a question that naturally appears is, how do you vet prop firms, right? Like, how do you choose who to trust and who not to trust?
Well, the first thing you can always do is check the Trustpilot reviews, but there's always going to be one-star reviews from, first of all, scammers that they say they can return your scammed money or investment money, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So those are fake one-star reviews. Then there might be some accurate one-star reviews, but specific to that case. So somebody might leave a one-star review because they thought spread was too large around Asia session or around rollover, which fair. Spread is big, but it's nothing out of the common. Spread is usually larger around rollover. So you can go on Trustpilot, read through the one-star reviews and see what they're about. Then social media does its part. So you can read the reviews as first part of it. If you see a bunch of payout denials without any reason, then you know you shouldn't trust them. Then it's social media. It's you can go ahead and see what people think about it. You can go ahead and see what they repost, um, and take your decision from there. For me, I'm trading currently with Funding Pips, and I've been paid most between all prop firms from Funding Pips, and they have a zero reward denial policy. So I think the CEO said it in one interview. If you go and make $500 and they catch you being a toxic trader or whatever, they're gonna pay you and then they're gonna blacklist you. So
I see.
that's what I like seeing, right? The prop CEO is saying like, we catch you doing something wrong, we're gonna pay you your reward money, and then we're gonna ban you or whatever. And that, you know, that was said after I started trading with them, but that feels to me like he's a good CEO. He cares about respecting the zero reward denial policy, and he never denied one of my payouts. I've been paid 111K from them only, and
Hmm.
it's working well. I can say this for transparency. They have risk restricted me last year, I think,
Okay.
but that was a leverage restriction. But in the meanwhile, that got deleted with the new rules. But they do that. If you're, I don't know what the criteria is. I had an interview with them and I was risk restricted. So they're not paying blindly. They definitely have some risk thresholds. But they didn't ban me for whatever reasons. And I've been paid a lot from them. I had some big payouts. They never banned me. It was just a risk restriction, which makes sense. I work in this industry as well, and it's just how this goes. You can't pay unlimited money without looking at what the traders are doing and without taking action when it's getting too dangerous. So that was the only action that Funding Pips had against me and others. I've seen some posts about this from others as well, but nothing too bad, nothing too damaging, nothing that makes it impossible to trade like other firms do 1% per trade. Um, so it all works out. And personal experience is a big one for me. I've been paid a lot from them. I trade and they have zero issues. So maybe I'm biased when I say this. Fivers also work pretty good. They have pretty good social media presence, very good reviews. I think they are the best rated prop firm. I traded with them. They also did the risk restriction, but I was paid much more after the risk restriction compared to before. They
Okay.
also pay. They also pay well. They pay. I wouldn't say the fastest, but they're good. And it's also a combination of reviews and personal experience. FTMO is one I don't like, because they restrict your risk also in challenge, not just in funded. So I
Yeah.
had, I think, only one funded with them, and then I totally quit FTMO. Um, I think they're too aggressive with the restrictions. I can't think of many others. Those are the main ones that I traded, and I got paid from with good amounts of money.
This is fair. And what I also want to ask you is, you have a lot of experience, you focus on trading, and you never really chose the social media presence. And my question is why? I'm really curious what you're gonna say, because I see a lot of traders, they just like go out there in public, they try to build their brand and journal every trade. And I don't think it's necessarily bad. Um, but you chose a different path and you're successful as well. And do you think the social media presence helps or doesn't it really help as a trader?
Well, it does help in a few ways. Let's start from the beginning. I didn't have a social media presence until now because it
Okay.
was not my purpose to be a social media person. It was not my
Yep.
purpose to be popular or whatever. And once you go into social media, you can't pretty much ever go back, right? If you go popular, people know your face, people know what you do. And especially if you do something like Don Vodid and scam everyone, you're not gonna be well. You're not gonna be doing well. You go somewhere, people recognize you. Just imagine someone you steal 10K from recognizing you on the street. It doesn't end up
Yeah.
well. So I chose not to be public, not to be shown around, not to be doing anything related to social media, because I don't think I was prepared to do it. And that was not something in my personal development range of things I want to do for my life. However, I think it helps, for example, with prop firms. If a prop firm wants to deny your 20K payout and they see you have 100K followers, they're not going to do that because they know if they pay you, you're going to post about it and they're likely going to get more in revenue than they have to pay you, right? So
Yeah.
you can cross some lines and get prop firms to turn a blind eye just because you have a big following. However, I've been able to make money without having any social media presence, so I didn't see any purpose in it. Things change, and now,
What changed? Tell me what changed.
well, I see a bunch of fake things around, and now I
Okay.
have enough results to prove that I'm actually making money from trading. I have enough to say, guys, I made 160K from prop firms. I got second place in a global cup. Like you can see I'm making money from trading. I don't need to sell you a $20 course about things that I don't do.
Yeah.
So now I want to go public and say he is a bullshitter, he is a scammer, they scammed me, and show people what that on the way up here, I'm not considering me a king, but on the way up to this point to 160K in payouts, I had to encounter some scams. I didn't quit from them, but it's how this works. Back then, maybe people would say, oh, he's just trying to get my $20, he got 5K in payouts. Now I think that the story is different. I was paid enough to build a track record, if we can call it that, and I can tell people some insights from my journey and how they can stay safe from scam firms, from scam influencers, and all the things of that sort. So I'm not gonna try and buy a Lamborghini or rent a Lamborghini for $500 a day and say, "Oh, look, I made this in one day from a single gold trade." I'm
Yeah.
totally not about that. But I want to tell people like I've made money from trading. I can afford to rent a Lamborghini for a day, and I'm not doing that because I'm not trying to be a guru. There are people out there that get 10K from a payout, and the next thing they do is rent a car and sell a course.
Yeah.
I could sell a course from my personal experience with my strategy and teach people how they can adjust the strategy to work for them. I can tell people, I have a Lamborghini, give me $20, I'm gonna teach you how to get one as well. That's not realistic. And maybe people think that is doable. If you take signals, if you take a course, you're gonna get a Lamborghini. Um, but I'm here to say that it's not possible. I don't want to destroy everybody's dreams, but it's just the reality. And some kids are interested in trading. It's all over the internet. You have persons out there like TGR, hundreds of thousands of followers, a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Those kids are gonna think like they can start trading with futures prop firm and they can get a Koenigsegg as well. And that's not realistic.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, what he did is absolutely crazy. Like I think some people consider it a success, and I think he is a genius marketer. But
he
like
is.
the way he does it is just insane. And the most insane thing is what we just said, which is these guys, they don't make money because they are good traders. They make money because they're good marketers, and that's it. Like the prop firm sponsor the lifestyle is the same. It's the same with the casinos, right? Like when these guys, they, let's say, stream, they get fake money to stream that they can't withdraw. It's called like the off-chain currency, right? They get like 1 million in fake money, they stream
All
it,
right.
and whether they make money, lose money, they don't care. But because they, play with such a big amounts, and from what I know, also you can engineer the wins as a casino, right? So then you engineer a win on a stream, you clip it, and then it's the typical marketing strategy, which is like, oh, I see other people can do it, so I can do it as well, and that's how this industry is rolling.
Exactly. I'm not sure about engineering the wins, but I know the casino world might be more dangerous than the trading world when it comes to ethics. After all, it's
Both are
casinos.
extremely dirty.
Yeah,
Extremely
exactly.
dirty.
But it is something similar. Yeah, you get fake balance, you gamble, you show people the wins. Well, the wins get clipped, the losses never get clipped and go public, right? Everybody sees the wins, they go on, I don't know, whatever gambling site, they deposit 20K here, 10K there, and then the gambling site is making money by paying a portion of it to the influencer.
Yeah.
I do think it's somewhat similar. Um, However, in the trading industry, I believe it's translated into those MetaTrader fake servers.
Yeah.
I know there's a way you can get your own MT4 server, something like that. You can call it live while it's demo money for dirt cheap, and then you can pretend like, oh, look, I've made 80K in this trade. Meanwhile, it's all fake money, but people think they're gonna be able to do the same, and so they go deposit, they lose it, and then what they just deposited and gave that guy cash back from the lots that they traded. So they are somewhat similar, and yeah, it's right. They present a lifestyle that a lot of people want. However, a lot of people are not going to achieve it through the same ways or through the ways that are presented through trading or through gambling.
Yeah. Last question. If you had 60 seconds, what kind of advice would you give maybe to the beginner self, like yourself from the past, and also to a beginner trader? What would you say?
Geez. First of all, if you're a beginner trader that's young, don't buy courses from the guys with Lamborghinis. Find people with proven track records, a bunch of payouts, not necessarily competition winners, but find the right people in the industry. I'm not saying me, there are people with much more in payouts than me. They don't post any Lamborghinis and they sell a course. You can buy a course, don't pay $500 for it, but be sure if you buy a course, buy it from the right people. You can learn everything online on YouTube without buying any course. If you don't have the financial means to do so, go on YouTube. There are a bunch of videos about trading, a bunch of live streamers that live stream while trading. So you can watch those for free. That's what I've done for gold, for example. Then, if you're not so young and you have a job, don't quit your job to start trading. It will not pay off in a 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. Keep your job, trade on the side, and it will be a long way until you start making actual money from trading. So don't believe in anyone telling you can get rich in a quick amount of time. That's not real at all.
Awesome. Really good advice. I like what you just said. Vlad, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. And yeah, hopefully we do some more streams in the future. Let's see.
Sure thing. Thank you for the invitation.